that you have boundaries right now that you want to cross, but you can't cross. Y'all talk to me here. And God has a way of, even some in our finances, he will put you in custody or in ward for a season. You got to understand what he said now, for a season. The Bible said there's a time and season for everything. And you must understand that seasons pass. Y'all understand? That's why you can't get fooled or crazy when you are in a season of your confinement or in a season of your going through, because it's all a setup for God. Y'all talk to me here. God is putting us in a place of confinement so he can bring our gift out of us, so we can use us, and things that we don't understand, that we seem like we bound in prison, but all it is God is just working something on the inside of you so he can cause you to be blessed. The Bible says your gift make room for you. Y'all help me here, because Joseph is working with his gift inside of prison. That's why he could not focus on the prison, because he would not be able to exercise his gift. Y'all help me here. You can't focus on your in ward, your season in ward problems, or your custody, or your problem that got you in imprisonment, because you cannot allow God to use the gift he had inside of you fully. Back to what I said, the Bible says your gift make room for you. And in other words, for something to make room for you, you have to be in a place where there's no room. And God will set you up. God will set you up in a place where there's no room.
Thank you, Lord.
Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
He anointed us to put us in a place of custody or imprisonment, so that whatever on the inside of us can be worked out. Y'all help me here. How many believe and know that you got some kind of gift on the inside of you? And it wasn't until you got in a situation when you were broke and didn't have no money to find out that you might be a good accountant. It wasn't until you got in some bad situation to find out that God got a way of giving you good ideas. And some folks had to be in a bad situation to find out that they know how to run a business. Y'all help me here. But God has a way of putting us in confinement, putting us in custody, so he can raise us up. Listen here now. Even Paul and Silas was put in prison or a confinement in a place where they can only do so much. And that's why I just want to encourage us today that when we are in a season of custody, in a season that seems like we are in prison and bound, to not to be discouraged, to make sure that I don't care where I'm at, nobody's going to steal my joy. Nobody's going to take my peace away, because God got something on the inside of me that he's trying to do that's going to help some other folks. Y'all help me here. And God put stuff on you to help other folks, but baby, you're going to be blessed out of what's inside of you just because you're doing what God called you to do. Here, Paul and Silas was, the Bible said, you know the story, that they were bound in jail, and that's a place of confinement where they're limited to doing stuff, and folks always got to keep an eye on you, 24-hour watch. And see, I'm going to show you something here. If you don't think that you're in confinement or in some type of prison situation, I promise you, you on a 24 watch. Somebody is waiting on you to mess up so they can scandalize your name. Y'all talk to me here. Somebody is watching you, and God got you set up on display. Your display may not be sitting in a nice Cadillac or a nice home. Your display may be you sitting in a prison cell, not innocent and not doing what they claiming you have done. Folks accuse you, but you got to understand, I'm still called by God. Talk about a name scandalized, and God still got to work for me. Oh, Joseph, we had a dream, and we just don't understand what's going on. And I can see Joseph, something clicking on the inside of him. And remember, when I was a boy, God showed me some things, and now my gift is beginning to come back in me. Even though I'm in jail, you can lock my flesh up, but you can't lock my spirit up. You can lock me up, my physical body, but on the inside, I still got my joy. And that's what the Lord is looking for. The church folks and some saved folks, that when you lock them up, they still can show a praise. When you lock them up, they can still show that what God blessed me with, I still can work it. Look, that's what I say, I'm working it, baby. Even in my place of confinement, God is working something out in me. Listen to this. Job was in a season of ward when he lost everything, had nowhere to turn. His wife said, curse God and die. Job still had enough sense to say, though he slay me, yet will I still trust him. How many know that when God has us in a place where we seem like we bound and seem like we can't get loose, it's just for a season for him to set you up for a blessing? And Job only had a season to say that because after a while, if you read the end of the book, God blessed him with double for his trouble. Y'all help me here. I don't care how bound you is, there's some double coming behind it. I don't care what you're going through, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Elijah was blessed. He was confined into a land of famine. But one thing good, he was an anointed man of God. And God provided water by the brook for him. And God provided a dirty bird to come feed him in the midst of the famine. But after a while, God told him to move to another place and caused a woman to bless him. What you saying, preacher? I don't care how long you are bound, God will make a way of escape. Y'all help me here. And once he bring you out, y'all help me here, he'll bring you all the way out. And folks don't like to see people come out, and I don't know why. And I don't know why, but I don't even care. But we're going to give God some praise anyhow. Folks don't like to see you bound. They love to see you bound, but they don't like to see you come out. Y'all help me here. They'll throw a party when you go to jail, but I wonder why when I get out of jail, why we're not having a cookout. Tell somebody, say, I'm getting ready to come out right now. Right now. They begin to share. We getting ready to go. They begin to share their dream with Joseph. And Joseph began to explain the dream and broke it down to him. And for one of them, it wasn't good news. For one of them, he said, look here, you're going to die. For the other one, he said, look here, you're going to be saved. You're going to be restored back to your rightful place. Y'all hear me here. Let me share something with you. When God got something on the inside, you got your confinement. And when he hooked you up with somebody, you got to know who that person you're hooking up with could be the very person that tie you into your blessing. God got a way of connecting us with the right people. And amen, and sometimes you be in confinement with people just like you. May have committed different things, but have the same mentality. I want to come out. Y'all help me here. When you get with some folks that's in confinement or in prison or bound in some stuff, they don't have to have the same problem. You just need to have the person with the same type of mind. I don't like being broke. I don't like being sick. I don't like being restless. And I promise you, when you hook up with the right person, even though in a bad situation, I guarantee you something will happen for you. Y'all help me here. After he told the dream, the butler was restored back to the king's house. Then the king began to have a dream that he didn't understand. And he called all the people on the land that he knew to give him and explain him the dream, and they couldn't. I love how God works, because he will give you something that somebody else can't do. And no matter how bad they hate on you, they just can't do it because God didn't bless them to do that. And a lot of times that's a setup, and we can't be sad or mad, and we can wish them better and hope them well, but baby, you got to learn how to move on when God's trying to open the door for you. You can't find yourself and get stuck worrying about somebody else. And the butler wound up in the king's house, and the king couldn't interpret a dream, and guess what happened? He said, I remember a Hebrew man that was in the same jail I was in. And he interpreted some dreams that I know no other man could have did this but God. And I remember him when we tried to interpret the dreams. He said, what about God? He is the interpreter. And Joseph was showing them that, showing us that when you're in a place of confinement, in a place of war or custody, always bring up God. Y'all help me here. I don't care how bad it is, always say, I thank God. He remembered that Joseph said, God will interpret the dream. So he said, I know a man that interprets dreams. Now here, he's talking to the king. He out, but Joseph's still in jail. Y'all help me here. Isn't it funny how God can use you to minister to somebody and they come out of the situation and you still stuck? You've been talking to somebody that going through the same thing you're going through. You gave them advice. They walked out on your advice, and it looked like your advice ain't working for you. Have you ever been in that situation? Brother, I just want you to know, just hold on, because it's just a setup. God is holding you in there just a little while longer because he's trying to get you to meet the king. Y'all help me. He didn't want you to meet the servants or the workers. God said, I got to hold you just a little while longer, because when I bring you out, I'm going to put you in king's status. How many in some hell right now? And you don't want to come out on mediocre level.